Hello, good evening, Twin Minds here. We are doing more Space Engineers tonight because, as you can see here, I am nearing completion of the Twin Tech Esper, which is the new name for the Spire. I'm really liking the way it's turning out so far. I did kind of sort of make it a little bit too bulky near the back as I started adding more thrusters to make sure that it has some movement, but that is kind of to be expected, and it's not too bad, so I'm kind of good with it. So as you can see, I have everything enclosed. I did the bridge in my off time. Last episode we did the crew habitation area, and everything else was just about done. So the whole thing is encased now in armor. Armor being a subjective term because light armor is not exactly very strong, but you know, whatever. Now, as you can see, I've added some docking ports on the side, or not docking ports, but airlocks, so I can actually come and go as I please. And that has actually come in handy because my elevator broke. It's amazing. So let me exit here. First thing you can see is the display at the front. It's not really finalized, but it is what it is. It's got current time, it's got status of all of the drone bays. So the 3 that are currently locked, those are drones that are currently docked and attached. The other bays are all empty with the unlock status. So that's just a way to interpret that. This is a power readout, hyperdrive, time to jump, as well as the max distance listed. And the torpedo status to tell if it's armed or not. And then down here is a rolling status of our materials refined. So it's just got the ingot summary that will roll up and down as needed. And I did want it to list all of them because in an ideal state I will always have at least some of each. So that's that, and then we kind of pan out to the cockpit area, and then you've got the monitors displaying various shots up front, some support consoles, and then even more support consoles with their own little viewport, which I thought was kind of neat looking. On this side you have another kind of monitoring console. I might even drop him back a step, because in all honesty, if you're sitting here, come on, if you're sitting here, you wouldn't really have a good viewpoint of these screens. So I might drop him back a step and put something behind his desk. But ultimately here we've got idle status of all of the reprocessors. So we've got the refineries, the gravel refineries, and the assemblers. And then these screens are just a neat looking, bonus looking screen kind of deal. And then over here I've got some placeholder screens with a similar setup. I haven't decided what I want to do with that yet. So right now I could do shield status, even though this seems to have shields on it. I could do other stuff. So that's just placeholder for now until I figure out what to do with it. This is also placeholder. It doesn't really need to be here. It's not doing anything, so I just don't know what else to put there. I got a little first aid station there. Now these are decorative in nature to me, but they are batteries, and they do hold quite a bit of charge. So why the hell not? I don't know if they're going to end up staying there, but whatevs. Then we got a little transporter area here that I still need to decorate, so I'm not quite done with that yet. And then back here is going to be like a miscellaneous command stuff, and this is where all of my AI cores are going to be that run all the programming for the ship. Now, in the middle here is the thing that I absolutely love. This is currently a rotating, get the sun out of the way here, it is a rotating full view hologram of the entire ship. I thought it looked really awesome. Currently it is in damage report status, so if you can see the purples there, those are damaged blocks, or missing blocks in this case, because those are ones that I actually did destroy to replace with engines. And then the purples there and there are, and up there, are the last ones that I removed for the airlocks. So it remembers what should be there, and it reports purple status if they're missing. Other color statuses if they're damaged or whatnot. There we go. Damaged is yellow-orange, unfinished is red-orange, missing... so wrong type is actually light purple, because I broke them and I put something else in their place. Blinking red if they were just missing entirely. It also gives color status, which is kind of weird. So if they're painted wrong, it'll show you if they're painted wrong, that kind of thing. Now it does say it needs to be updated. Now I do actually have to re-pick the ship, I think. Let's see if it has to rethink on that. There we go. So that lets it refresh the status of the ship currently in its current state. So now there's no purples because there's nothing that's missing or wrong. Now the other alternatives that I could do for this include... there it is. Not status mode, which just kind of gives the current proper colorization of the ship, which is all gray currently, but it doesn't do the blackened texture. So it looks a little bit more realistic, but I like the status idea. And then here is see-through armor, which tries to take away the armor blocks. So now down here you can see all of the cargo holds, that kind of stuff. Just to give you, an interior shot so you can see perhaps, hey, one of my refineries is damaged, for example. I'm not sure I like it, just visual sake, but it is an option that is kind of neat. I'm also curious if status mode works with the see-through armor. It appears to. Because yeah, it's really obvious down here with the reactor. Some of the blocks are not armor, so they don't get see-through, like the windows, the thrusters, that kind of stuff. So you end up having a lot of overlap. So I'll cut off the see-through, leave it on status mode, and that will give me information on whether it's been damaged or not. And I did recess this in the floor because this block is about half height, and if it was at half height, the projection didn't even start until here, and then you kind of end up having to look up a lot. It wouldn't be a problem if it was a shorter ship, but I got a long bastard here, so yeah, it needed to be recessed for that to work properly. So yeah, this is kind of the overall current standing of the bridge. Now, as I mentioned, my elevators broke. Unfortunately, the mod maker made an update to the mod in an attempt to resolve other people's problems, I think mostly with multiplayer, and as a result, broke mine entirely. I've reported it, don't know if he's going to be able to fix it or respond at all, but this might end up getting replaced entirely with teleporters or something like that. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now I also went through and tackled the airtight problem. So you'll notice I've got green status up here. If my elevator were working, I would be able to show you airtight status of all the other segments of the ship. But I cannot because elevator. I never did figure out the drone bay. So the drone bay is still not airtight. There were some weird rules about airtightness, so I'm still trying to parse those out. I don't know for sure if the rest of my ship remained airtight because of the broken elevator. I can't really see the vent from here, and I didn't make a an entryway into here, so. But I did do some more decoration. I added the ramps and the stairs to various parts of the outside of the ship. They have almost a light look to them, so it adds a little bit more decorative flair to the various angles on the ship. I added these angel thrusters on the back and attempted to decorate them a little bit. In fact, I need to do that a little bit more here. So I need these stairs. Doop. And doop. Unfortunately, I don't know if I have enough room for both. Yes, I do. Good. There's just a little bit of ridge flaring in the back there. It's not really necessary, but it looks kind of neat. Alright, let's see, what else did I change? Oh, that was me attempting to fix the air tightness. Think I can put those back. Also possible that the air tightness on this is broken anyway, and I have to revisit that once my elevator works, or if I find a different way to transport through the ship. I don't really like the transporters as much because they do have a hell of a lag time to them before they actually function, but it might be required. Well, we'll see if I can get a quick response from the dev. If he knows what's wrong offhand, he may be able to fix it quick. If he doesn't, oh well. But as you can see here, the door opens, it registers 6 floors, but it will not move. It just closes the door. That's it. And then all of the other floors, they will open the door, but they will not move, and they will not call the elevator up to them. So it's just completely and totally broken, 100%. I added more lights everywhere. I got these armor things in there last time. Added more of these first aid kits, kind of all over the ship. But unfortunately, because of my broken elevator, I can't actually visit a good portion of the ship. But we can kind of peek in. I added more of those pillar batteries in here, because I thought the purple kind of contrasted nicely with the green. They don't put out nearly as much light. The green still does overpower it significantly. Let's see what else. Added more ramps and stairways, kind of in various spots where it looks kind of like it would fit there. Got those done last time. Still not quite shot up on these thrusters, but now I'm not sure I could do without them, so maybe they just stay. That's the command deck. This is the habitation quarters I can't go into. And then I'm missing that floor, and then I can go into here. I don't think I changed anything up here. Hey, back USB, how you doing? Yeah, I didn't change anything remarkable up here. I added the first aid kit and attempted to figure out the air tightness, which is why these are kind of sticking out a little bit here. But I didn't succeed, so I'll keep poking at it, see if I can figure it out. It may be this. Like, if this is not airtight, it's not telling me if it is. I did also add the block information that you can see on the right-hand side. So it does give me more information. I was kind of whining about not having information on blocks that I point at, so that helps a little. And unfortunately, that's a problem. Now, if I went through each floor and opened up the doors, it may work. Why is that upside down? That way. It may at least allow me to fly up and down between the floors, but yeah, well. So let's go ahead and go to the bridge. Well, welcome back. Where did you go? Did you do anything fun? And this is the lead time I'm talking about with the teleporters. They work. Grand. It's just, they take forever. Alright. So this is the almost final state of the ship. I'm not going to do too terribly much more to it. As I said, I got to decorate this and that, figure out the air tightness in the other rooms, and hope that my elevator works. If not, I'll be deleting that and replacing it out for teleporters. But yeah, the Esper, as it is named here, the Twin Tech Exodus Spire platform for enrichment and refinement, is near completion. And because of the elevator problem, it makes it very difficult to navigate. So what I'm going to do is, wrong button, I'm going to bookmark this to make sure it's saved. Details. Okay, well, I'll get it backed up, and then think I'm gonna do something else. I gotta design a new ship, because apparently can't do much else with this one currently. And is seriously lagging my game. Like between this big ship and the other big ship, yeah, they're significantly impacting my performance. I have designed mostly mining drones for small ships, but no, I have not designed any other like smaller style ships. I've designed 2 huge ass ships and then a bunch of smaller miners. That's about it. So that's a thing I could do for sure. But I love it so much. I love it so much. Salvager would definitely be a good one for sure. Yeah, that might be a thing to do. Now, are you thinking mid-scale large grid, or are you thinking small scale small grid? And are you thinking like really small scale, like small drone size, or like larger fly through disassembler? You are probably correct. Alright, so to alleviate some of my performance issues, I'm going to get rid of some ships. I want to make sure that I have backed this one up, which I'm pretty sure I have. This is the Ass Eater. Oh yeah, no, I'm totally thinking of scaling up in survival. In fact, I was kind of wondering when I would get back to survival. Because I came in here to start designing ships to bootstrap myself up in survival, and then I got lost in this project. Ass Eater. Yeah, that was me in a complete brain fart of being able to think of a name, and immediately my brain went to naughty, inappropriate things. So yes, that is backed up, so we're going to get rid of that, because performance. What else do I have? I got this guy that I've used for target practice repeatedly. Look at this poor bugger. Look at this poor bugger. He's got giant holes all the way up in him. Yeah, that hole. And he's got this Swiss cheese effect thing going on here. And he's got this hole. And he's got that hole. Yeah, there ain't not much left of this guy. Oops. What's this? Wheels. Alright. Hey, I was treating my big toy very nicely by giving him a smaller toy to play with. Alright, so this is my test gun, so I'm going to get rid of that. Hey, Civil Host, thank you. These are all of my various drone builds that I don't need to keep around because I have backed them all up. Just trying to fix my performance problems, y'all. I'm going to keep the Spire around just because probably going to want to show it to people at random. I can get rid of these. These are my little, basically little measuring sticks. To have a spot to fit my drones inside of, to make sure that they would fit inside of the drone bay of this afterward. So those can go. And I've already backed those up as well in case I need to make more. And I have a gunnery platform that I might keep around. Mostly just for testing purposes. These can go though. Nah, they'll stay. They're not hurting anything. Civil, did you see my bridge though? I don't know how long you've been in here. I was showing off the bridge earlier. So this is the bridge. very unfinished transporter room. Computer center, I suppose. Decorative things, but they're also giant batteries. Then we've got all of the various command centers. This is all of the status of the refineries and the assemblers. Got a little, I guess, side ops station, rear support, you know, whatevs, and then the captain's chair, plus these screens here. Not yet, no. I don't have all of the functions configured, because I haven't really decided what I want to have quick access to. The only thing that I have is the radar on-off, because the radar gets kind of crazy if you leave it on for too long. Let's see if it'll reach out and touch something. No. 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 Okay. That's fine. I'll turn it off again. But it puts out like hundreds of waypoints in your visible range, and it becomes very distracting very quickly. But look at this thing go! It goes! I love it. Anywho, yeah, it's just various decorative doohickeys. Oh no! It's a ship. It is meant to go park next to an asteroid and release the drones, and then basically chew the asteroid up into pieces and bring it inside. So yeah, this right here I love. This is a holographic display that is constantly rotating that shows the entire ship and anything that may be wrong. So currently, you can actually see those little purple spots that are currently spinning around. Those are blocks that are different. So those are the two blocks that I just deleted and replaced with different angles. So it remembers that, and it tries to fix it. Possibly graphics too low. Possibly this thing is just a bitch to configure. It took me a little while to get it configured to the point where it would actually show the ship properly. But yeah, it is current real-time display of the ship itself. And I had to recess it because my ship is one long bitch, and yeah, the whole thing ended up like almost in the ceiling, and I'd have to look up a lot to see the whole thing. So I figured the recess looks kind of neat, and it fits properly to have a decent view of the ship. But yeah, this thing, it is a full ship. If you look up here, you can see the spotlights of my drones. So that's the drone bay, and basically just park this thing next to an asteroid, and once I have them configured for AI, they will go. But right now they're all manually controlled drones because I don't know how to configure the AI yet. And this is my last mining drone that I designed, which I kind of like the design of, honestly. So let's disembark this guy. But yeah, I think he's a nice little mining drone. Short, squat, has quite a bit of storage on him, and yeah. And then all of my drones now come equipped with reverse cameras, so I could actually park, because I was having a hard time parking. There we go. Alright, so now my performance is a hell of a lot better, because I've noticed this game doesn't really drop FPS, which is nice. What it does instead is it does like a physics slowdown effect. So everything is just kind of slow motion. So it stays at a lovely 60 FPS or whatever I'm actually getting, I don't know. But everything just moves like I'm going through molasses or something. So, what would you recommend I start with? Small little disassembler drone or bigger monstrosity? Also, I never finished eating this asteroid. I feel like that's going to come back and bite me at some point as I run headlong into it. Probably should eat that asteroid. Let's test out my new mining drone quick. Just because I probably should get rid of that asteroid. Ah! Whee! Meh. Meh. Is there anything left? Can't see. Can't see. Out of my way. Yeah, nothing left. I can go through it. Okay. So how much did that actually get me? Not all that much. Yeah, I was already kind of thinking of things I wanted on my battleship design. I still can't quite decide what I want on said battleship design, but I'm definitely thinking about it. Let's see, that button, there we go. So like a part retrieval ship, because that ultimately I was thinking of doing that as having, you know, a similar concept to what I did with the Spire, have a disassembly station that has drones that can just go pick stuff up and bring it into the disassembly bay, I guess would be called. So that could be a thing, as I could just basically design a tow truck. I think Rover is a mighty fine name. I don't know why I'm mining sideways, by the way. Like, I just am. I don't understand why I'm doing it. I just am, I guess. That's all I got, as far as logic is concerned. Ooh, can't see shit. Let's wait for the dust to clear a little bit. Come on, dust, clear better. Come on, dust. I know you can clear better. There we go. Now, this drone is eating through the whole asteroid, but I can tell just by the way it's starting to control that it is way overloaded. So I am currently probably many times over what its storage capacity should be, since Creative doesn't ever really stop that from filling up. Also, howdy, Cetra. I barely even saw you enter in except for that comment to jab at Civil. Okay, I do believe that asteroid is gone. And this ship now controls like a turkey. So yes, unless that is a piece right there. It's hard to tell. I think that might be a piece. I think that is a piece. Hello, Earthgrain, welcome. That was a piece. Good to know. That would have been like a micrometeor stabbing through my ship at some point. All right, let's see how much we actually collected. Collected roughly 1.9 million. And this thing only has 3 large cargo containers at small scale, 125,000 each, I think. So this is about 4 or 5 times overloaded. I don't know. I'm playing it on PC. I don't know if it's available for consoles. I'm pretty sure it's not, but I can't say for sure. No? Okay. Oh yeah, this bitch does not control well with the belly full of lead. Alright, let's get this reverse camera going. There we go. It can barely move under its own power, but it is docked now. I'm digging it. Alright, so that's done. That asteroid is now out of my way and is not going to stab me in the future. So let's go back to the little grabber ship, I suppose we'd call it. So we need... Which maglock pad do we want? That's 3x3. So this is the small, this is the block, this is whatever this is, and this is that. Alright, let's bring these in a little. So, small ship. Apparently this one just wants to be all alone. And then we've got the little blocky thing. And then we've got the little pad. So this is the 3x3 grabber, and this is the these are the smaller ones. So these are my options for grabbing. Otherwise, we also have the standard landing gear. What does the HS landing gear look like? Oh, the HS landing gear looks weird. I don't like it. Go away. Then we got landing gear. I think this is the thin or small. And then the regular. Now the regular I like just because it's got the blue band that is very obvious that it connects. But these also have a blue band. Which one? The standard landing gear? Because I also have a tractor beam, which is a reach out and touch someone kind of situation. I just don't know how it actually works, so I haven't played with it much. You like to play with the hex? Yeah. Do you like the big one or the little one? Because I think the little one could look good on something like a pillar. So if we grab the pillar and put that underneath, something like that. Same could be said for this one, I suppose. Yeah, I think the only thing to consider is, you know, what this drone is going to be trying to accomplish. Because I mean, yeah, it can grab onto something with such a little front plate, but if it's going to be moving something bigger than itself, it's going to need a significant amount of thrust, which means it's going to be pretty sizable on its own to be able to thrust things. I don't think I need the block one, unless it ends up being like we could do like a grid of them. Me. Where are you? Front there. So we could do like a. Why don't you all face the same direction? And why is that one a different color? Doing it again, different colors. Okay, so we could have like a grid of them like that. I don't know why they're different colors. That's weird. Very weird. Oh, that's right. I had stuff floating around here somewhere. Where did I put that floating stuff? Am I ever going to find it again? I think the answer is probably no. Because floating stuff tends to be so difficult to see once you put it out there. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I'll have to use the cleaner. They're small grid technically. So that's that, Something Russian? Hold up. Something Russian? Howdy, Cinder. I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna teleport and player control. What am I looking at? Oh, it's part of this ship. That's weird. This must have been created by a Russian then, because part of the naming of this ship is Russian. Weird. Alright, where the hell's home? Home. Let's take a look at the ship. It got blasted from the other direction, I think? Ow. Yeah, it got blasted from this direction. Okay. When in doubt of where an explosion came from, follow the hole. So Cinder, a quick pan over of my Spire, or now known as the Twin Tech Esper. It is essentially complete. Minor details here and there to finish up, but it is essentially done. I love it so much. Anywho, did I lose? There. So back to the rover. I still like these guys. I might figure out a way to use them, but I think we might need to start with the basic design of the ship first. So thrusters. Now I think this thing is going to need a significant amount of thrust if it's going to be able to move things. So either this one or an angel setup or something like that would probably be key. Otherwise, these modular thrusters are pretty powerful and would give me the option to kind of make them as big or as small as I need them. Or these modular thrusters. I don't think these are nearly as powerful though, but they do look neat. So let's tone down this angel a little bit. That is true. The angels are really expensive. So these guys are not expensive. So those are that, and they look pretty neat. So then we could do... Let's see. Trying to see how small I can make this. So if we do... Okay, so this is obviously not the one I want to be there. Now what I could do is I could put stuff in the middle there, like remote control, etc. And basically just have this thing nothing but flying engines. No weight of its own to move around, just the actual mag things. Let's see how that looks. So let's do these. Why does it do that? Why does it change color? It's the weirdest thing ever. There is no reason for that whatsoever. Because I love the black texture. I just don't know why I'm not getting the black texture. Anyhow, let's get rid of these. Because I know they exist, I'm not going to keep them around to remember them. Okay, so let's do gyro. Let's do these. Reactor. The only flaw in the design that I'm currently building is that there's no way to access the reactor. So that might need to be something where the reactor is on the outside. That's an interesting sound. So reactor on the outside. Let's get this thing some power, or some gyro. Give it a remote antenna and remote antenna and what? There's something else that I need. I don't remember what. Programmer, yes. Camera also, yes. So let's go with programmer in the center. This needs to be facing the right direction. I don't think it needs a timer, but maybe it does. I guess that would depend on what script I'm using. Some scripts use a timer, some don't. So we'll grab a timer for now. And let's do more gyros for now. Might as well fill in that spot. Alright, and then number 6. Now, the only thing I'm seeing here is, never mind, a perfect spot for a camera. Never mind. And might as well do a reverse camera as well. Because why not? And probably more reactors. Curious. There is thruster damage, yes. The fuck was that? So I think that reverse thruster would be something I could turn off. Because once I get mag attached, I'm not going to be reversing. I'm going to be essentially using this as a pusher. So I could have that as part of the buttons. So let's do... Oh, I need to actually rename it. Hold up. Stab it. There we go. Oi, oi, you and your logic, quit it. You make a solid point. Depending on how much power I have in those gyros, I may be able to just rotate the damn thing. Otherwise, yes, I would have to push the reverse thrusters back a hair. Do you know what the normal thruster damage range is? Also, I want to fly this thing just for hell of it, because it looks really zippy. Come on, clicky button. There we go. It looks really zippy. Whee! Whee! And then also we can do the cameras. We would have to do mag on a group. Could find that thruster and put it on a group if needed. Camera. What the devil? Oi! Why does it do that? It just power's overloading. Depending on how much thrust I put into it and how much rotation I do. So, alright then. Good to know. Where'd he go? I lost him. There he is. Also, this thing keeps coming up and that's really obnoxious. Come back here, little buddy. Okay, so... I see more people showing up. Howdy, Fireshot. How you doing? So, if the mags need to go on a stick and I'm not getting enough power... Oh yeah, still wearing the squid. Then I can try this reactor. So let's do that. Get the mag block. May even grab this one instead. We'll see. Alright, so let's kill all this. Pew. Okay. So, number 7, this is the other reactor. The newer, fancier doodad reactor. But it looks like for it to work the way I want it to, I need to have an additional block or two to put them on. That's not the right block. There we go. Alright. So I think that would work well. So let's do that a few times. Number 7. Get this reactor facing the right damn direction. Quit it. Now these reactors are excessive, beyond recognition, but that's what's fun, right? Yes, you are correct. Then I guess I will have to reverse, or full reverse on this thing to see if the damage happens. So let's go control that thing again. We should have more than enough power now. Let's reverse. Yeah, we're using 10 to 25% power. Oh, I heard something. Pfft. Well, that's not a good view at all. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing reversed back to... Do I know where player is? I don't think I know where player is, so I'm going to at least get it near the ship. I think I heard something that sounded very much like destruction. Yes. There was destruction. Only a little bit, but there still was something. Oh, actually, that's quite a significant amount of damage. Alright. Did these take damage? No. Those took deformation, but they did not take damage, which means they probably just got deformed from the block in the middle that got destroyed. So, the next thing to try then would be the smaller variants of these engines. And see if those have less power. Let's do that. So I'm going to replace these. So we have a fresh start. Okay, and then we can kill that and put the smaller variant engine in here. Wherever its thrust may be hiding. What the fuck? There it is, okay. Really? Really, guys? Really? What? What? Meh. Meh. I don't fit in here, apparently. Boo. Okay, fine. Get out of my way. Alright, so the programmer block got all weird. Why is it being all janky for me? I probably would be better served by putting this on something. Like that, perhaps. And then I think my number is 9. Okay. So now we've got what should be shorter thrust length. Now let's get this thing on full reverse and see how it works. Because otherwise I can just extend the mag a little bit more. I was hoping that extension would be enough. Whee! Alright, let's do a lap. Full thrust so far without it freaking out. Yeah, I think the shorter thrust length is very helpful on these. So that'll be nice. Now I need to find it again. Where are you? And also quit it. That pop-up overlay is kinda driving me nuts. Alright, so it does not look like there was any block damage. So we can count that as good then. put these on the front. Actually, you know, I think I kind of like the other one better. The hex. It just looks a little bit more purpose-built. Now, do I do that hex or do I do the flat hex? Definitely easier to place the flat hex. I like it. Small, simple, very, very compact. The only thing it doesn't have is the ability to dock on anything. I mean, I guess it doesn't really have... Yeah, it does. I like those looks, the shock look on them. I was going to say it doesn't have the ability to dock on anything. I'm like, well, it doesn't have cargo to dock with. And I'm like, wait, it's got fucking docks built into the front of it. What the hell am I talking about? So, let's recontrol this thing. Get all of the numbers set up. Whee! Alright, so I need to do this. Gyros I always put on a group. Thrusters all need to be on a group. Maglocks need to be on a group. Cameras need to be named properly. These don't really need any particular names. Alright, so I always put my gyro on 8. My thrusters on 7, and then whatever my docking solution is on 9, so that I can do kind of the standard, the same controls that I do for everything. So everything's got front-facing camera on 3, rear-facing on 4. Hello, me. How are you? How are me? Bonk. And then it's got dock on 9 and then depower on 7 and 8, so I can just do dock 7, 8, drop all power so that whatever I'm docking to is not affected by me. So now I should be able to just slap this thing against the side of the ship. Very nice, very nice. Just tack it onto the side of the ship, it's mag-locked and everything. And then of course I would depower it, but I didn't remember to depower it, so let's do that thing. Alright. Okay, so locked, depower, depower, and uncontrol. Hooray! I like it! It's itty bitty and it's tiny and it's useful. Now I just need to undock, power up, and go! Whee! So let's get a better angle of this thing. And bookmark. Hooray! Ready to go. Where'd he go? There he is, Twin Tech rover. Hooray! Now, I'm curious. I'm actually going to test this thing. I'm curious how much power it has. I don't think it has much power, but I want to see what it can accomplish. So let's go to this thing. I am pushing and I am making practically zero progress. Well, if I'm hauling back a partially hostile ship, then there are other problems at hand, like the fact that it probably has more thrusting power than me. So, I mean, in that regard, this little bugger ain't gonna cut it. This guy is like for going to grab small little rogue pieces or unpowered ships. So like if I unpowered this completely, I might have the means to do it. So control panel, all. Oh, I can't select all. Let's do off reactors. Okay, so off reactors, there should be no gyro, there should be no power. And let's see if, how much we can actually push this thing. I am making 0.5 meters per second progress. No, 0.1 meter per second progress. So that is as much as I managed to push this thing in that short time. So roughly 10 seconds of pushing got it up to 1 meter per second. So definitely not going to be able to handle any sort of sizable projects. Meow to you too. And all I gotta do is turn this thing on and it stops dead in its tracks.
Shush cat.
So this is definitely a small use item, obviously because it's made out of the bare minimum parts. But I like it anyway. That. Undock. Doodly doot doot doot. Forgot to tell it to stop thrusting. There we go. Alright, you can stay right there. You'll be fine. Now, you know what? You need to be attached to the ship, so I don't forget about you. Let's go right here. There we go. All done. Strap that little bitch to the side of the ship and we're good to go. Now I feel like these angles could be something else. Like maybe something as simple as those or something like that. But I kind of like its minimalisticness. And I like the fact that I can kind of go almost full speed at something and just attach to it. Alright, so now we've got our little grabber done. So now we do next size up, I guess. Now would this be just a grabber or would this be a grabber slash deconstructor? Civil thoughts? Anyone thoughts? Like something that can just attach to a ship and start deconstructing it on the spot? Scrapper, okay. That I should be able to accomplish. Not welder. So grinder, we have grinding options. Let's take a look at the different options to do that. So we've got, what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 possible grinding options. And let's just take a look at all of them and see what they look like. Chase, grab, eat, store. Yep, sounds good. Alright, so we've got vanilla. Vanilla small, there we go. We've got whatever the hell this is. That's big, we need small. Not available for small. Alright, and we've got the twin grinder. Obviously I'm partial because of the name. And then we've got number 7, which is the tiered grinder. So this is the one that can be excessively powerful once it's done. And then we've got number 8. This is a laser drill grinder. And then we've got number 9, which appears to be a very small doohickey. Itty bitty grinder. Is the laser grinder really that big? Or is that the large ship variant? No, it really is that big. Holy crap. Okay. Alright, so these are our grindy options. I'm kind of partial to either the twin, just because the name, although the looks of it are not all that remarkable. I like the looks of the tiered one, which is essentially the vanilla one. And also the laser one. His itty bitty one is just hilarious. It tries so hard. Now the laser one is worth powering up to see. Reactor. Strap a little reactor onto this thing. The twin one here, that is, it's just a standalone mod. So if you look, hold up, that button, there we go. It is just from Twin Grinders, is the name of the mod. There's Twin Grinder, Twin Drill, and Twin Welder. I don't personally like the low poly count, no textured model, but I mean I like it in theory. If it had, you know, higher poly count, better textures, I would love it, shape-wise. So let's turn on the laser welder, or the laser grinder. You are not lasering, sir. Why are you not lasering, sir? You were supposed to be lasering! Maybe it, I remember seeing this before where it kind of needed a cockpit to control it. So then if we do G, weapons and tools, laser grinder. Do it. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it's just broken. The rules on editing someone else's stuff is first take a look at their mod page and see if they've given any open license. Because sometimes they'll say don't touch my stuff. Sometimes they'll say feel free to take it. I can hear it attempting, so yeah, you're probably right. It needs something in front. Let's do that. Maybe it needs more power? That's entirely possible. I will say that a lot of people don't really pay attention to those rules anyway, and they will take someone's stuff. As long as you give credit, generally it's fine, but I would recommend at least contacting the mod maker first and ask them. They may even tell you straight off, hey, there we go. So it just didn't have enough power. They may tell you straight off the bat that they took the model from somewhere else, and then essentially either you're free to take it or they didn't do it right anyway. There we go. There we go. Okay, so as much as I like the laser ones look-wise, they do not have much power behind them. They're slow as balls. I don't know about these ones. See about turning them on and see what it looks like. Oh, did I big scale these? Oh, that's right. These were big scale because they didn't have small scale. Also, why can I not put... Alright, fuck them. That's not gonna work. Alright, I think I've settled on the tiered anyway. So let's do that. So, tiered grinder. Now, any thoughts on how big this thing should be? Because I could make it just a small, like, single point attach and destroy. Although I think the grinding distance on this thing is pretty sizable. Let's see if we can find out. Can it grind itself, by the way? I don't know. Like, can it grind its own platform? And the answer is probably yes. Really? Yep. It can't do its own, Whoops. I broke it. That's the only thing I don't like about grinders in general, is their ability to say, I'm just gonna launch shit in a random direction and become a projectile weapon. That's the only thing I don't really care for about them. Okay, so, yeah, let's start that over. So, tiered grinder. It is the physics engine to blame. However, I don't like it. Also, what's the spherical gravity generator do? Like, I know the regular grav gen generates gravity in the direction that this thing is facing. So what does the spherical do? Does it just kind of pull everything in towards it? Because if that's the case, that might be kind of cool. Towards itself. Okay. So what we could then do is, yeah, okay, let's try this. So spherical gravity gen, collector, holy balls, collector big. There we go, collector. Okay. So spherical gravity gen, collector to pull everything into it, and then surrounded by grinders. Now, this is problematic because of the conveyor connections. Problem. Now the range on these things is such that I probably don't need them to be that close together. So I could do conveyor connections in between. Let's see, all those directions, yeah. Okay, just making sure all those are facing the right direction. So I could do that. There we go. I don't like how these things keep reorienting themselves every time I point at something. It's not cool. It's kind of obnoxious, actually. Let's do with some light here. Now this could be that button. T turns off auto-rotating. Okay. There we go. Okay. Well, let's try that again, shall we? See, I'm not really digging the look of that. Like, I like the whole GravGen pulling things towards it concept, but I'm not really digging the final output. Especially because these tiered grinders don't have faces. Now what I could do instead is... yeah, let's try that. And that button, there we go. This needs to be that way. That needs to be that way. And that needs to be that way. Man? Why you do the thing? Quit doing the thing. Okay. That's probably all right. And then probably need the 3x3 for this to work right. Let's tier these up a little bit. Yeah. I don't know for sure if the little chip thingy needs to be... Yeah, the little chip thingy needs to be connected a certain way. Okay. There we go. That's a little better. Chip thingy. Chip thingy. Chip thingy. Now, that may immediately make me change the orientation, because I was planning on putting the mag things kind of in here, in the crook. But if the chip thingy is in the way, fine, redo. So now the chip thingy needs to be facing on the outside face. There we go. Alright, now... Are these large cargo worthy? No, they're not. That's not what I wanted. Small cargo then. Not small cargo. Apparently medium cargo. Medium cargo. We're gonna have that connectivity problem, are we? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let's see. I'm trying to think, like, if I have the grav connector, like, right here, it's got a 1 block range, roughly, for it to hook onto something. Let me go test that grab out. Hold up. I need quick reactor. Quick gyro and quick thrusters. Just need to be able to get this to somewhere that I can jam it all up against something and see if it works. And then a cockpit, so I can fly it myself, because it's easier that way. Yes, it shall have cargo out its butt. That's not even the right frickin' direction. The hell am I doing? Cargo. That button, that button. So I need to face it down. Need to face it this way. Okay. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to attach it to this thing because it's already a guinea pig. I just mostly want to see if it can grab. Looks like the answer is no. So I need to have it forward 1 block. Good to know. I think this welder is still on, and it just welded the block that I ran into. Alright. Apparently I welded pretty hard. Or I bounced pretty hard. Okay, so this thing needs to come forward a block. So let's grab that button, and that button. There we go. So it's able to mag lock at that distance. Good. Let me go. 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 It doesn't like me touching it. It's a little bit testy about me touching it. Alright, so let's get rid of all this crap and reassess. Crap gotten rid of and reassess. So you're saying using conveyor junction. See, I don't know if I need to use conveyor junction in these spots because I already have these attached to conveyor junctions here. And they're all attached to the sides of the collector. So I should be able to just conveyor out the bottom of these things and not have to worry about what's in the side, which will let me fill it up with the blocks needed for mag attach and stuff like that. Yeah, I should be able to cargo out the wazoo here. I think medium is the one I want. Except for the part where it's too big and I can't, there we go. Damn it. No, I can't do 4 of them in that orientation. Boo. And the large, I think, is not large on this. Oh, yeah, no, there we go. It's not large on this ship. And then the large cargo container is also the same problem. I can't put them in 4s. Okay. And these are all large ship only. So I guess mediums would be just fine if I put them like so. And however big we want that to be. Now I should be able to use larges here, the cargoes here as well. Not that I particularly like the look of this. Fail. Fail again. There we go. So now this thingy will just strap itself onto a ship and hold on for dear life while it grinds the hell out of it. Until, of course, the parts that it's grinding are detached, in which case it should clear itself. Because I think the range on these grinders is pretty sizable. So it should be able to clear off anything that's attached to the mag. Hopefully. If not, I can always detach the mag and let it free float. But it should work, hopefully. Okay. I mean, this gives us room for a gyro or two in the center. I don't know if I want this to be remote controlled, but might as well, I suppose. I don't know if I have anywhere that I can put camera. Antenna. Programmer if needed. Timer block if needed. I should be able to jam all this all up in here. So this is the remote control. It needs to be that way. Antenna can be kind of any old direction. Let's put it in the center. And the programmer block can go wherever it fits there. It's got pretty decent maneuverability with the gyro in the center there. Okay. Now, I could potentially reuse these same thrusters, because they are pretty nice. I do have other options. I have plenty of other options, in fact, but I do kind of like those. Those are all hydrogen. Okay, Sybil, bye! Bye, Cetra. Okay, these might be tolerable. those might chew up that chip, so that's probably not a good place for that. Guess top. They're pretty nice. I have a difficult time, honestly, with getting an appropriate amount of thrust in each direction that doesn't look like I'm just tacking on engines everywhere. It's a big challenge for me. It really is. They do look pretty nice. I think this will work. Hey, Chook, welcome. And I do want to make this thing look at least tolerable. Okay, and then if I grab this block, I should be able to flatten it out a little bit. Although, it might look better to not fully flatten it out and do a partial flat. Like that. Chook, if you're talking about the Spire, the big ship, it's essentially done. Like, I just about finished it off. I'm currently looking at it upside down, so let's rotate. There we go. No, I was looking at it right side up, and I can't recognize my own ship, so let's rotate again. There we go. So the Spire is essentially complete. I finished off the crew habitation quarters and the bridge. And then I finished off a lot of decorative touches. So if you look inside the bridge, you can kind of see there's a whole lot of stuff going on in here, which kind of adds to the decorative factor. I've got quite a significant amount of extra thrust on this thing, plus some little decorative ridges there. The only problem is the elevator that is the spine of my entire ship, that broke with a mod update. So the mod maker was attempting to fix problems that a lot of people were seeing in multiplayer, and by mistake broke my version instead. So I've reported it, but I haven't heard back yet. So I do want to take you inside the bridge, because I think the bridge is about the only thing you haven't really seen. Where am I going? Oh, I think I've got gravity being generated somewhere. Alright, well, I'll keep the thrust on, that's fine. So we've got, let's turn off my lights because it's lit enough in here. We've got a little bit of power station there. I still have to decorate this part, and I have to decorate my transporter room. Otherwise, we've got these little things here for decoration, but they're also pretty sizable batteries. We've got the name of my ship. I need to get rid of the show on HUD. There we go. Why did it not? There it went. The Twin Tech Exodus Spire, platform for enrichment and refinement. The Twin Tech Esper. And this was thanks to Demos for the lovely name. And then we've got First Aid. We've got a little command center here for the refinement, which gives us a work and idle status of all of the refineries, as well as the assemblers. We've got a front-facing side post here and over here. This is placeholder, because I don't have anything to go on those LCDs yet, so I just have some placeholder images on there for now. And then the actual bridge, which has two command chairs for, I don't know, assistant commanders or something, plus the captain's chair itself. And then up here we have status of the drone bays, which tells me which drones are docked, the power status, the hyperdrive status, so how long until it's charged and the distance to jump, and also if the torpedo is armed or not. And then down here is just a overview of all of the ingots and ores that we've got. So that's just kind of a heads-up display that the captain can see at a glance. The actual visual look of it is a little bit grainy, and that's just a problem with the way that the game handles transparencies, so I'm kind of dealing with it. And then here is a holographic overview of the entire ship floating in the center of the bridge. And I just really love the look of this thing, and my gravity is taking me that direction. So yeah, that's the bridge. But yeah, my elevators are busted. I can't use them. I can't fly up and down it either because the doors won't open from the inside. But I did tackle the air tightness, so all of my areas are fully airtight except for the drone bay and the drone maintenance hangar. So I'm still working on those, but otherwise the ship is essentially done. And this little bugger right here is a little taxi drone, just a little magnetic grab that can fly everywhere. So yeah, I'm very happy with the way it's turned out. I'm happy that it's almost done. I'm really eager to figure out how I'm going to get this built in single player survival, because this is going to be a hell of a lot of resources. So this is going to be like a long-term project to get this built in single player. But I absolutely adore it. I love it. Love it to pieces. But for right now, I'm working on a different project. I'm working on a scrapper. Something that can fly up against something, attach itself, and grind away. So I think for right now, I need to first remember which way is up on this thing. This way is up, because I need to put a cockpit. And let's go with, maybe the worker bee will work. Grab the other one just in case. That is not a good place for a cockpit, right in front of the thruster. Not a good place at all. I could reverse the direction of the thrusters, have top and bottom be backward and side to side be forward thrust. That might be an idea. Definitely keep me warm, for sure. Alright, let's reverse that. I think I want it to stick out quite a bit. There we go. So that leaves me with a space for a cockpit. Now I can either do the Worker bee, which, quite frankly, doesn't really look like it fits. That's not too bad, but it does stick up quite a bit. Well, the other one's going to stick up a lot, too. So maybe worker bee? Let's see how the worker bee fits. How do we get in? There we go. Ooh, we need more... We need more gyro. Well, that's not too bad. But I can make the worker bee fit if I do some brief angles to kind of tie it together. The fighter cockpit? Okay. We'll try the fighter cockpit, and we can also try one of these. Let's go with this one. And this one. Alright, so this is this cockpit. There we go. And it just provides a little city spot for your dude. It's kind of intended to be designed as an undersling, so you kind of hang it and you're hanging from wherever, but it works either direction. And then this one is similar, just a different shape. But again, they're all very tall. And then I think the fighter cockpit is going to be roughly the same. That one's even taller, actually. Yeah, kind of like cranes, for sure. So fighter cockpit's out. And then this is the base cockpit that I kind of typically use. So not really great options, but not terrible. I think I'll use this one, actually. And what I think I'll do, I've got a big one so I can put it up front, maybe. And then I'm going to put more gyro. And then we can take this. And just kind of bridge that gap a little bit. Actually, that might need to be this piece, probably. Come on. There we go. No, not that piece. Not that piece at all. I think I'm just thinking of this piece, honestly. No, not thinking of that piece at all. What piece am I thinking of? I think I'm thinking of the invert. Maybe. No, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about. Whatever, whatever. We'll stick with that for now. Now, does that have enough gyro power? Oh yeah, that's better. Almost too better, actually. But that's fine. So I've got forward, back, and side to side, and up and down. So we're good there. I do need to finish smoothing these out. Did I decide if I want the partial smooth or the full smooth? So we've got this as an option, which partially fills it in to smooth it out, but also doesn't entirely, and I could also do that on the inside. Or we've got this option, which fully smooths it out. Thoughts? Because with this I could do this internal. Come on. Well, that's just sensitive. Fully smoothed. And I kind of like that look on the inside. I'll do it. I'll do it. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, silly me. At least it's not hard to fix. It's a shame there's not something like an undo button. Cat! Loud cat face. Okay. Okay, so we've got fully smoothed all the way around. That's good. And then we can do this, finishing off the insides. Maybe. There we go. There we go. There we go. I think that's nice. I think I want to cap off the back, though. And in fact, I need to cap off the back with something like a dock. Oh. Docking. Right. Cat, shush face. Shush face. Because if I dock with this thing, these engines are going to blast the crap out of whatever I'm attached to. However, I think with thruster damage, there's an allowance of timing. So, shut up! As long as I undock and blast away quickly, I don't think it does all that much damage to the face it's attached to. Because I've had multiple instances of that, and it hasn't been a problem yet. But probably will be a problem, knowing me. So what I will do is do more cargo. And then the connector should be able to fit right in here. I do not know. There are very few YouTubers I actually follow. I mean, I've got plenty subscribed, but I don't actively watch most of them. That threw off my balance. That threw off my balance entirely. Like, the whole design went all haywire after that. Let's try killing these things. Connector. Yeah, I'd really need to kill that. And do that instead. Let's see if that's enough power. I don't know if that's enough power. Whew, too much. Okay. Full thrust back, full thrust forward. Side to side. Oh, I don't have much side to side or up and down. It exists, but not much. And then we need to turn on the grindy things. Those don't use much power at all. Okay. I need to make a group of the maglock things. Ooh, we never got a name for this thing. Termite. Anything else I need to worry about? Actually, what I might do is put the grinders on a group as well. Oops. And that way, when I, for a group, I can add them as a group this way, and I can toggle them. So number 1 gives me manual hand control. Number 2 just toggles them on and off. Okay, that's good. I need cameras. There we go. And view. Connector in the back, switch lock. Mag lock surfaces are going to have to be like number 5 or 6, I think. Because the gyros are going to have to go on 8 as my usual control schematic. The thrusters there. Okay. The only thing that I don't then have on here for my normal control schematic is headlights. So let's do that. That usually goes on 5. Alright. So the only thing that I'm missing on here is the gravity gen, which I probably will want to turn that on and off. So what I think I'll do is I'll do that on 2. And then put the grinders toggle on 1, so I don't need to manual control them anyway. Okay. So far, so good. It doesn't feel like I'm very far away. Is it just me, or was that needing to be incredibly close? So, jumpy, 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 no jumpy, jumpy. I thought these tiered ones had a whole lot more range than that. They're supposed to. No, the range appears to be maybe 2 blocks? Well, it seems pretty big from where I'm at. I just didn't get much range out of it when I was close to the other ship. By the way, don't stand directly in front of the potato when you're testing your grinders. Me. Hard to control sideways. Stop it. Yeah, see, that doesn't feel very close to me. Like, so far, I am directly on top of it. It's fast, which I love, but it's supposed to have a lot more range than that. Weird. And these are the tiered grinders, right? Yes. Okay. Interesting. Alright, what I want to do then is take this thing over here. And test out the grindy grind situation on here. Really? Really? That is significantly less impressive than it's supposed to be. Like, the grinders can't even reach out and touch the things that are being maglocked against. That's terrible. Interesting. Okay. So if we do maglock 6 to unlock. And that immediately destroyed one of my maglocks. And the gravity thing is not working as desired either. Okay. See, without the maglocks in the way, they do work a little bit better because they can reach out a little bit more. They can't really reach out lengthwise, but they can at least reach all around them. So I might have to bail on the maglock situation. Okay, let's turn those off briefly. And the gravity thing is not working at all, so let's bail on that as well. And instead, I think I will attempt to do a foot. So let's tack another cargo thing in the middle here, because why not? think it needs to be out a bit more. So let's do another cargo thing. Landing gear. That probably isn't even going to work. Might need to stick it out one more. Let's find out. Dug a hole into that one. No, that didn't really work. So then does the foot need to go out one more? It's kind of a weird sticky outy situation. And at that point, the foot doesn't even work because the grinders destroy anything that it's about to grab onto. Which is fine, just not useful for the foot. Okay. Then that brings me to another concept of the tractor beam. And the tractor beam can fit right in here, I suppose? Okay. So let's see if we can figure out how this works. Oh. That was, more powerful than I was expecting. Holy crap. So maybe... do we have a power to slow it down a little bit? We have high radius. Strength. 10,000 newtons. So 10 kilonewtons of force, which is more than you would normally get out of, like, thrusters. So let's, I don't know, let's do 2,000? See if that's enough? Looks like 2,000 was not enough for this thing, which is probably fine, because it shouldn't be able to mag attract entire giant ships like that. I do want to see if I can turn out these grinders. There was a piece floating around here somewhere. No? No piece? No piece, okay. So how about... let's grab this little guy. So we grab that, turn it to nobody. Control panel, all, transfer to nobody. Oh dear God. Tractor beam is a no-no. No tractor beam. Definitely no tractor beam. Because A, I can't pick its targets. It's a turret. It targets whatever the fuck it wants to. And B, it pulls shit to me in angles that are not the direction of my my grindy guns. And it does it very quickly. So let's drop this act. I mean, we did more damage to the ship. Sure. Oh dear, oh dear. Alright, I think I've grabbed all the leftover scrap. Nope, missed some. Jeez. I have done some significant challenge to this. Alright, where the crap is home? There's the crap is home. Alright, so back to the drawing board on the grinder thing. So what this might require is some testing on grinder distances and grinder speeds. So I need to get rid of this, and that, and that. You can go away as well. And then you can go away. What is floating? Bits and pieces. Bits and pieces are floating. Ah, all of my crafting components. Okay. I was wondering where those went. Here's another one. Alright, so the twin grinder is here. Does it have an on button? Not directly. Okay. Actually, probably should put some buttons down. Alright. So let's see, how far away can we go? Apparently I don't have the mass to push this thing. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, so that's where that thing is just not very powerful. So it's got a range of 2 blocks out, but it's very slow. Alright. Let's test out the laser. I have a feeling this one does not have very much range at all. It's faster though. And it's got a greater distance. It goes all the way out to its laser's end. And then some. Okay, so that's the distance that it can reach. But it is very narrow focus. It's almost like it were a laser. Amazing. So if I'm going to do the lasers, I'm going to need a very narrow grid of them. But that wouldn't be horrible. They just require an assload of power. But I believe, let's test my theory. I believe they don't provide any force. They do not. They don't impart much force. I think they do a little bit, but not much at all. No, actually, I think the only force that's being imparted is the ambiguous force that happens whenever a block is detached from its grid. Okay. So the lasers are kind of winning, honestly. So we'll keep the laser in mind. And then we've got the vanilla grinder, which we're going to test, but I'm pretty sure the answer is it's crap. Going to test out the HS grinder, although it does not have a small grid. So that's a thing to consider, is if I were to use this one, it would have to be... Okay, do you not know how to place yourself, buddy? Broken! Okay, never mind. Alright, so that's broken. Good to know. I'm gonna try the vanilla. Alright, so vanilla's range I know for sure is not very far. I can't even put blocks close enough to it to test its range. That's how terrible its range is. So, I did read up a little bit on that. The small grid grinder is widely considered to be ass. So that's a known quantity. The twin grinder we tested, it didn't live up to expectations. It is fast, but it has almost no range, just like the vanilla. So we're going to try out the azimuth grinder, which is itty bitty. It's adorable, but small size might surprise us. I am not surprised. I'm curious what its size ends up being. Let's do this. Its size is not even a single block. Whew! There we go. Come on, buddy. I need you to go away. I need you to not go away this direction. I need you to go away this direction. Alright, so the azimuth grinder, while it is adorable, it's about as useful as it looks. So that's awesome. Alright. The only other grinder options that we have are the fly-through grinder, which admittedly is pretty damn impressive. But it is a station-wide size grinder. And it's also difficult to place, so you kind of have to jiggle with it a little bit. But yeah, it's a station-sized grinder meant to be fly through entire ship, grind to pieces, which I think I will do as well. But yeah, also the shipyard, which is another fly-through grinder option. And then we also have nanites, which basically just fly out and grind whatever you tell them to. Same with the build and repair system. The build and repair system will also fly out and grind whatever I tell it to. So as far as ease of use options, the nanites and the build and repair system, which are also technically nanites, those are the best options. Just plop it down, they'll go fly out and grind out whatever's nearby. But for the purposes of designing a ship to do the thing, that's a whole different problem. So let's try the concept of the laser grinder. So if we do that, and then we put them on a group. I feel like I should be taking some more damage. Like you can see my hand twitching ever so slightly, but I feel like I should be taking more damage than that. Alright, so now we plop these up here. And then we can do something like that. I'd say that's pretty effective. Then the question is, how big do I want it? So did it just grind something it shouldn't have? Or did it grind something it thinks it should have? No? Okay. Alright, okay. So, grinder size. It's the same faces available as the other one, okay. Okay. Now, I don't know how much power 9 grinders is going to need, but I do believe the answer is a lot. I think. And the question, do I put a 9th one in the middle there? Because ideally, all 8 of these, they can reach a 3x3 grid, so each one of them should be able to reach that middle block without something needing to be there. So I could put a gyro in there, I could put a cockpit in the middle. That might be an idea. I think this one might be good. I already had it on my hotbar. So this one might be good in the middle, because I don't need to be able to reach, or I don't need to, words. I don't need the closeness in front to have this spot open, or I don't need a mag lock to hold on to something, because these things don't impart force to launch things. So I should be able to cockpit it in the center, which gives me a perfect view. So I kind of dig that. Let's do... Let's do conveyor, so that I can hopefully connect this to something. And in fact, I shall connect it to something, but what? Let's do the standard control suite in the center here, so yeah. Remote, antenna, programmer, okay, the only thing I don't really have is a camera that can be front-facing. So that's a problem. Might end up with that above or below or something like that, depending on how far the thrusters and whatnot stick out. Okay. So let's grab a conveyor. There we go. So that's the conveyor that now connects the cockpit to everything. And then the rest of the conveyors can be like so. Actually, that might not need to be conveyors either. That might be doable with small cargoes or medium cargoes. Or at least for the most part. I can't even spell right now. Medium cargo boxy things. Okay, so that connects all of them. I do believe that connects all of them. why does that not connect all of them? Because there's no power. Right. Because without power, none of the cargo connections work. Let's do that quick. Now we have power. Now everything's connected. Good. Okay, so then... that's not the right button. Reactor... kind of want to do the arc reactors, perhaps. Because I have a feeling I'm going to need that much power. And the only way to find out for sure is to try to get in here and run the thing and see if it can run with all of those. So then we do K to grab a group of the laser grinders. We'll call it the termite again, because the previous termite failed miserably. We do have plenty of power. We're only using 21%. Okay, it's good. Now I kind of want to stick to the same rough shape format as the previous one, which is going to be the X shape with cargo containers. Let's do this. Okay, that should connect everything properly. That's not how you spell thrust, but it counts anyway. And then I need to grab the industrial, wherever you are, there you are. Now I don't know if this is still the size that I want. Like, is this the right everything? I don't know. I don't know. Alright, then we can grab these and attempt to refill these again. Oh, hey! Flames, 3, max distance, 10 meters, damage, 18 per second to ships, 2.5 per second to other things. So this actually tells me what the damage is. This one's Flames 3, max distance, 3.8 meters, damage, 108 to ships, 43.2 to other things. So these industrial thrusters do have a hell of a lot of thrust damage to them. Which is unfortunate, but it is a thing. Now, I remember that these did not provide much in the way of actual thrust. So, that being said, I might swap them out. These are pretty powerful. I know these are powerful. In fact, I want to grab one of those to see what the thrust numbers are. These are also powerful. And then, of course, there's the angels, which are expensive, powerful. And then these are not powerful. Okay. So let's see what the actual thrust numbers look like. Flames 24. I don't know if that's actual thrust. Oh, I was looking at the actual flames, whatever that means. I think that's flames that are actual, like, particle effects. Damage 100 or 720 to ships. So, holy crap. Okay. These ones, however, have no thrust damage. So whoever coded this decided that they didn't like to have thruster damage. But fine, I suppose. So comparing these two, we've got 144 kilonewtons of thrust, and this one's only got 100 kilonewtons of thrust. This one also uses half the power for twice the thrust, or for not twice, but still 1.4 times the thrust. So this one is more balanced, whereas this one is more powerful, but also does a hell of a lot of thruster damage. So things to consider. Now we've got number 7. This is... Oops. That button, there we go. So this is 360 kilonewtons of thrust, but if you compare it to this, which is a single block, this, which is essentially 9 blocks, you can kind of see the comparison. So 360, it's only 3 times as powerful as the other one by taking up 9 times as much space, but a lot more power, 4.8 megawatts. So this, I would say, is also balanced in that regard. Very minimal damage to stuff, though, which is worth considering. And then number 8, 36 kilonewtons of thrust. So definitely weak. And then number 9, 432 kilonewtons of thrust. So these take up an ass load of space and only do a little bit more thrust than these. What's the power? 7.2 megawatts versus 4.8. So power balance wise, they're roughly the same. But yeah, these take up a lot more visible space, which is not a huge problem overall. Let's see. So if we want something that's powerful, we could do these. Stop. Stop failing me. Stop it. I do indeed need to stop failing. So if I grab this, it's got fairly significant forward and reverse thrust. But I would say almost not enough, based on how big this thing is. So what I could then do is reverse these. So we do this, and do that all the way around. Which is here. Probably a bit excessive, but I like power on my ships. Probably very excessive, honestly. Let's do this. This is probably not a good idea with that much reverse thrust pointing directly at whatever this is going to be docked on, but I'll have to test it out to see how bad it actually is. Because these do a lot of damage to blocks behind them, but I think there is a time concern. So a brief thrust to get it away isn't going to cause problems. I think. I have to test it. So now my thrust, I think I do want angular thrust, but these are really not enough. Because I would have to do, let's see, how many can I fit? If I start here, I can fit 7, and there would be 2 sets of them, so 14 of them times 36. Let me calculate. 14 times 36 is 504. So the entirety of all 14 of these is the equivalent of just over one of these. And I've got 4 of them. So not great. Not great at all. Trying to be careful because I keep causing myself problems. So what other thrusting options do we have that are relatively reasonable priced? Because I don't even think these... No, actually those are very reasonable priced, which they shouldn't be. We do have these, which are the angled variants of the other ones. And we have these, which they don't need to be the angled variants. And then we also have these, which I might end up having to do. We'll see. Let's see what the other options are. So these are only 30 kilonewtons of thrust, but I would be potentially fitting a lot of them. 15, so 30 of them facing up. So that would be 900 kilonewtons of thrust, so it would be equivalent of 2 of these. That wouldn't be so terrible. Let's try it out. I don't think it looks great though. But if I were to do the modular thruster, it wouldn't look much better. Dope! Okay. Yeah, I'm really not digging the look of that, honestly. Hey, Craft Thief, welcome. You are here in time to watch me fail to design a ship. I'm missing this face. I'm attempting to make a grindy ship. A ship that can go out and grind and salvage other ships. So it's got a bunch of laser grinders on the front. Oh wow, that thing still controls kind of like ass with all of the weight on there. Alright, so we've got forward, we got back, And then we've got side and side and ups and downs. It doesn't really control the greatest, so I might throw another gyro in there. I don't know where else I'd fit one though. Could probably fit some gyros in here. But yeah, it doesn't have really enough thrust to do what I wanted it to do. I mean, it's fine. I guess it's an industrial ship, so it doesn't need to go fast. So in that regard, I guess it's fine. Yeah, let's count it as fine, I think. I mean, I have quite a bit of back thrust. Like, I think as far as like controllability goes, it's fine. It doesn't have much in the way of rotation, so I could potentially use more gyros. But at the same time, it's not that bad. Yeah, no, actually, it's not bad at all. It works. So now let's just finish fleshing it out, making it look okay. Now we could do this all the way along. So let's do that on that side just to see how it looks. I can fill that with stuff. And then on this side we can test out the slope option. I have not tested it out yet, no. I tested out the welders themselves, and they work. Alright, so what looks better? The flat angle look, or the kind of the double W look, I guess. Don't know what else to call it. The flattened look. Okay. Whoops, broke stuff. I have a bad habit of breaking stuff that I shouldn't be breaking. So that's just a cargo, that's fine. So you liked the one that was here better? You don't like this one as much? Is that correct? Okay. Let's start over. This is number 1. And this is number 2. So number 1 was the, you liked it out, okay. That makes sense. So what I might do then, let's kill these. So this is, yeah, okay. So let's try this. Also, hold up. Let me try something else for thruster look. Let's try that, that. Let's see how that looks, because I want to kill these because I don't really like these all that much in their current state. Now let's try these quick. There we go. No. 6. Okay. Six, 8, and then 7 in the middle. And then for this, I would probably fill it with this one. Maybe. Let's have the option of invert. So this one I think looks kind of cool, but let's destroy this side, and I kind of have an idea for the other side that's just basically the inverse of that. So let's try that. So then that takes the inverse idea. Oh, now there's a concept. Could also go that direction. There's so many possibilities. No worries, I'm just trying out some other options. So that's an option as well, is essentially reverse their thrust. So these are pointing up and these are pointing out. And then they kind of slope each other. And I could just fill this with, I could probably fill this with just large or small containers or something. Nothing else I can really fill it with other than small containers. So that's an option. That's an option. And I kind of like this for the kind of the double recess look. And then there is one other option I can do that I was thinking of before I got distracted. So let's try that one last look. So we killed that. Kill that. Alright, so what was the last one I was thinking of? The last one I was thinking of was kind of the inverse. So we grab that. And I think this one goes here. Yeah, something like that. Am I doing the same thing again? I am doing the same thing again. What was I thinking of? Oh no, I'm not doing the same thing. Okay. Brain needs to catch up with other brain is doing. That's what I was thinking of. So you come face down this way. And then you rotate this way. Okay, that's better. That then reminds me what the hell I'm doing. So then we take this and go in this way, and this rotate around to go this way, and then to fill it we can do either these like so, or we can do these. So that kind of inverts the thrust and throws them out that way. But the only thing that I don't really care for with this is that you can't really see the thrust from most angles. You really only see it from the top or the sides. But it gives it an interesting kind of concave look with either of these, either that one or that one. So to review, we've got this one. Let's call this one number 1 because this is the first one I did. And then we've got this one, which is number 2, which kind of gives it a straight angled look, but has a little bit of a bumpy flare to it. And then we've got this one, which we'll call number 3, which is the other thrusters. And then we'll call this one number 4. 4.1 versus 4.2, I guess. So 4.1 is the deeper indent, 4.2 is the flatter connection. So Craft Thief, since you are about the only other one paying attention, I will let you pick which one we're doing, and that's what we're going to go with. So just to review, we got number 1, and then we got number 2, and then we got number 3, and then we got number 4.1 or 4.2. This game is Space Engineers. It's like Space Minecraft on steroids. You craft your own ship out of blocks, and you mine asteroids, mine planets. You can make vehicles, you can make mining drones, you can make You know, this is my baby. This is the Spire, also called the Twin Tech Esper, which is a mobile mining platform that uses drones for mining. Number 1 was this one. This is number 1, and I can fill it in with stuff to give it some flavor. Mostly, I would probably do this button. Let's do that. We'll just fill that in to give it that filled in flavor. So this is number 1. So it's got pretty much a straight angle this way. And then we got number 2, which has, I would say, a little bit more. It's still a pretty straight diagonal, but it's got a little bit more flavor in the ridges that are available and the different angles that are in there with the shrouds that we've got. So that's number 2. And we've got number 3, which I think we've all kind of decided not really that great. And then we've got number 4, which puts them kind of shrouded really deeply behind the shrouds, but gives an overall different flavor entirely to the side of the ship. This is 4.1, which is a deeper recess, versus 4.2, which is more of a flat indentation. So, fastest writer, since you have also joined the party, feel free to vote which one you're going to be using, or which one I'm going to be using. I don't know if I care as much for number 1, personally. I'm partial to number 2. Don't like number 3. And I'm partial to number 4, probably 4.1, personally. So, thoughts? Okay, you're abstaining your vote. Craft Thief says number 2. All right. So number 2 it is, because number 2 is one that I was kind of partial to as well. So let's kill all of the other ones and get that replicated all the way across. Now I have to remember how the hell I made that. Okay, that's simple enough. So that one goes there. And then it goes over here, flat this side. And then number 8 comes out and does the opposite of that. And then comes over here and does the opposite of that. Come on. Come on, angles. I know I can do it. And then number 7 comes in and fills in the party. And then number 3 comes in and fills in the gap. There we go. Now for the profile, it looks like that, which I think is pretty nifty. And I just come over here and do the same thing. To be very careful with this, because I have accidentally destroyed very large portions of my ship. Like right there, I just destroyed one of the cargo containers, because I'm awesome like that. So let's put that back again. Alright. So which side is this? This is this side. And that is this side. There we go. Yeah, number 3 was not great. Number 3 was definitely the low end of that totem pole. See, I'm not always that great at building stuff. I try really hard, but I'm not always that great. And Fastest Writer, feel free to ask any questions you might have, or if you want a tour of any of my ships, I can do that as well. Or anyone else who may be paying attention who has those same needs or wants. Okay. Now that is probably just going to have to be filled in with armor blocks, just to fill in the hole. Otherwise we can fill it in with, like, that. I guess we should probably put it over here so you can actually see what it's going to finally look like. So something like that to just give it a little bit of flavor, but not too much. So let me know what you think on that, because otherwise the answer would be just full blocks like that. I think this has a little bit more flavor to it. And that. Okay, so apparently I can't aim at the things I want to aim at, so I will destroy what's left. Be very careful with all this clicking, because I very frequently destroy parts I don't want to. Okay. Yes, this is definitely a sci-fi themed event. Whoops. Missed. Okay. One more doohickey here. And I think I will do the partial blocks all the way in, because it just gives me a little bit more of a design appeal, I think. The blue things are thrusters. So I'll show you in a moment here what all the different thrusters look like as they go. I need to rotate myself because I can't get into that angle. There we go. Yeah, so these are modular thrusters, so they let me make a thruster as wide as I want. So let's get into the ship. So this is the ship now as it is. We've got forward thrust, we've got reverse thrust, and then we've got our side and side thrust. And then our ups and downs. So now we can go the other direction and test this out on this thing. But before I test it, because last time I went over to that thing, I destroyed everything in sight. So what I need to do is save this ship. So let's go in here, give it a name. Twin Tech Termite. Do I have everything grouped? I do not have anything grouped, actually. Let's do that. So I've got the thrusters, the gyro, the grinders. There are planets in this game, yes, but when you start a new world, you can choose whether or not you want planets. Otherwise, you can build structures on asteroids. So there's the ability to build structures or ships. Or if you want, you can build a ship like something that looks kind of like a space station, and then you can turn it into a static structure so it doesn't move. But yeah, there are planets. There's gravity. There's atmosphere. So if you're going to start on a planet, you have to get atmospheric thrusters to get your way out. But then those atmospheric thrusters do not function in space, so then you have to have a secondary thruster to go forward once you're in space, or vice versa if you need to land on a planet, that kind of thing. There are aliens, and there are wolves. Basically, there's only two types of NPC critters. There's aliens, which look kind of like scorpion bug things, and then there's wolves on natural Earth-like planets. So very limited in that regard so far. There's plans to do more than that. Otherwise, there's NPC-controlled drone ships based on the factions that you're working with, or working against, I guess. The default game only has the Space Pirate faction, but there's plenty of mods. I've got bajillions of mods that I've got installed here. And many mods add new factions with player-created ships that will randomly generate for you and stuff like that. Alright, so I need to hit that button, that button. Alright, I need to get into a view. Alright, so this has been bookmarked. The only thing that I don't like I absolutely love the back of this ship. Like, the back half of the ship is really great looking. I just don't care as much for the front half of the ship. So what I could potentially do is I could get rid of the angles here. So I can get rid of this, 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 and this, and leave it in a plus configuration. And then I can continue this shape all the way forward. What am I looking at? Oh, okay. The emote thing that you did, I couldn't see what it was. It is... it's a Nami cookie. Okay. The chat that I have on my screen that I can see during the stream doesn't show all of the better JTB stuff or any of the others. That's jtvnw.net. Never heard of it. But yeah, we're going over to this ship now to eat it. So these are my my grindy lasers that I've got. That's right. I don't have cameras yet. I should do that at some point. All right. So this is the guy that we're gonna eat.